Today I said, created the mindset to promise to you. Deliver in word form of what I was gonna do. Constructed the passage in italic blue. Sealed in an envelope, I'd hand it to you. Maybe it would see you through. Or maybe.
Greetings, my name's Redhed Key. You already know this.
Today I said, created the mindset.
How did my name come about? Well, about 1 million years ago, because clearly I'm like, 1,000,012. Remember I'd love experimenting, and I dyed my hair this blazing red, and do your hair, you dye it for the rinse, look in the mirror and you're like, oh my gosh, this is me, this is the colour, this is who I was meant to be. Like, the colour felt like home. I felt so empowered. I felt like I had put on my I felt like Superman, when I first discovered a big S on my chest, like, pow, oh my god, that's me. So yeah, and my friend came to visit me and she was like, what, Redhead, I love that. And I'm like, okay, that'd be the name then. So yeah, that was the name. Used to be spelled red and then head, and later on I thought, nah, let me put the two together, drop the A, so it's R-E-D-H-E-D. Later on down the line I added the key, which is the Q-I, as in a Qigong energy, and yeah, that is where Redhed Key came from. And the other name I go by, Gushi Lala. Gushi came about in about 2010, 2011, and it is purely the feeling of love, the frequency of love, because love is a high, fast frequency, and it just makes you feel warm, wet, just everything wonderful. Yeah. The feeling is love. I describe that feeling of love as gushy, definitely. So yeah, that's where the name came from.
Mindset to promise to you. Deliver in word form of what I was gonna do.
Well, let me see. I first began dropping a little something to music in I know that was a long pause. I have to go by the age of my middle daughter and then take 2 years off of that. So she's 18 this year. That's like 35. No, it's not 35. Sorry, it's been crazy. Yeah, so she's 18 this year, and so 16 years. 16 years is when I first began putting my. 16 years ago is when I first actually began. Period. Putting my my vocals out there, and then my vocals to music. It just happened all very quickly.
Word form of what I was gonna do. Constructed the passage in italic blue.
Okay, so it was either one or two things. Yeah, it was being in my grandmother's home and hearing Sparrow. She played a lot of Sparrow, soca calypso music. I heard a lot of, Audrey, where you get that sugar. I heard a lot of that stuff. At the same time, in my dad's car in particular, I'd be hearing what's his favourite song? I know the road, I know the score, baby I know what's going on. My dad used to play that one, he loved it, it was his favourite track, and that's by the late great Frankie Paul, who passed away this year, ascending love, blessed brother. And country living, I'm going back to country living. Oh, I used to beat that one too. The funny thing about it is, like, years later down the line, here I am chilling with Frankie Paul in Gambia, and brought to Gambia by the label who produced country living. I mean, what are the odds? But yeah, that was in my parents' home, but musically as well, massive influence was my auntie, my mum's sister. Her record collection was just crazy. It's just massive, and she is the original You Don't Have to Dread to Be Rasta. She has, it is just roots, the roots, the roots. Some real deep belly dub tunes and roots music, and she loved all of them, and she used to beat them down. So Black Uhuru, Bob Marley, I was, we Burning Spear, just the, yeah, that's what I was used to listening to as I grew up from my elders. And then I think I hit, well, obviously you go through a teenage phase where you're just listening to pop crap, as you do, and then when I was slow jams, because I come from that era, Jodeci, and that stuff. But the music that really turned my life on, my favourite artist today, Curtis Mayfield. That's it. When I heard Curtis Mayfield, my mind was blown. He's my favourite artist today, and that's what I love. The Curtis, the Isaac Hayes, the Millie Jackson. That's me, 100%.
The passage in metallic blue, sealed in an envelope, I'd hand it to you.
Now, if you're talking about the stage, in just the general stage, okay, I recall auditioning for the school play. This is primary school, by the way, and everyone, got to put together your audition. I was like, I'm gonna write my audition in rhyme. It was part of a Fox. I think I remember the first few lines, and I wrote it, and I had my paper for my audition, and I stood there like in your heart and your soul, you're like, I'm gonna go on stage and tear it up, but really you're like this. I'm a fox. I live in a den. I've been to London and seen Big Ben. That was my rhymes, but it got me the part in the play, and that was my that was my first time on stage, but it was really good. But performance wise, well, that was performance, but in my adult life, I've danced on stage too, actually, secondary school and stuff like that. But my vocals, microphone, me doing my thing, apart from the primary school play, would have to be my first ever show, which was the Derek Bailey Foundation over in South London. And yeah, nerve-wracking. Same billers, Noel McCoy and Curtis Walker and Roy Diamond, and I was like, you just don't even just know yourself. You don't even know yourself. And I've got the microphone, and my arms like this, and I'm just like, the fear's got me, and I'm preaching to the crowd like this. I'm just, yeah. If anyone's got a copy of that, I'd love to see it. In fact, we weren't even rolling with mobile phones like that back then. So yeah, that was my first ever. And by the time I hit my second performance, I just loosen up. Yeah, it was good.
Searching, I'm searching. Searching, I'm searching.
And what age did I make my first record? Now, when you say record, I was my actual. Here you go. Because there came a time where life went digital, So my first, I think my first recording, like, yo, this is me, and it made a little step somewhere, was a track called Portion, funny enough, and produced by the wonderful Deneo. He's like a little brother to me. I bless him and his journey. It's fantastic. It's amazing to see. But yeah, it was produced by Deneo, recorded over at his, and this is when he was with Social Circles, when he had just brought out the tune Bounce, and he was doing his thing, and Farmer Yardie, and Falling, that bad tune. I think you're falling in love. That bad tune. Anyway, yes, and that track I did make it to some from a Groove Rider CD. No, not Groove Rider. Sorry. That track I did make it to a Sidewinder CD. Oh, there we go. But yeah, I think that was my first. I'm trying, yeah, my first. Although previously I have been touring with my professor, with the Rewa, I'd have lyrics that I'd spit on stage, or stuff that I'd sing or put together. I even wrote a track that me and my friend would sing when we was touring. However, we never solidified it, recorded it, and say, yeah, good to go. But yeah, I think that was my very, very first one. And my first, you can go buy that one. It was called Let's Talk. If I recall, yes, I released that on the 11th of the 11th of the 11th. There you go. It came off of a EP called Raw Food, produced by Noel McCoy. And it's just like 5-6 tracks of some, some raw food for your soul, mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
Searching, I'm searching, searching, I'm searching.
Where do I see myself? I hope I maintain my integrity. I hope I still deliver my truth. I will, definitely. So I want more to be more creative, to be able to make. I have some. I sound like Wu-Tang. I got crazy visions. And I would love to be able to be in a position where I could just bam, 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 knock them out, because I wouldn't stop. I would not stop turning that stuff out, But I don't know. Hopefully, I see myself in a position where I'm able to churn out creatively like that, and just keep it flowing, keep it going.
One who can deal, man. Love how I feel, man.
Do a collab with any artist, dead or alive. Who would it be? It's gotta be one person, come on. Oh no, actually, see, made me pause there, I second guess myself, like, nah, it would, Curtis Mayfield, man. Curtis Mayfield, that's who it would have to be. His falsetto, my stiletto. See, it was rhyming everything. Yeah, like Curtis Mayfield. He sings so sweet, and it's political, and it's critical and analytical. It's heartical. The vibration is astronomical, and yeah, I think we'd make good music together.
Steel, man. Have sex appeal, man.
Maintain a clean soul. Yeah, maintain a clean soul. Continue to be authentic. Be true to yourself. Be intuitive. Be real. It's not about, oh, I'm going to put this together and that together because they're going to like it. Do you like it? Does it resonate with you? Because after all, that is what art is. You can create art and you can put art out there, and one man's going to be, that is so shit, and another man's going to be, that is just the most amazing thing I've seen. At the end of the day, it shouldn't be their reaction that kind of push and pulls you and sways you. It's how you felt about that art when you created it. Like, that's what I'm doing. That's the art I'm putting out there. So be real, and be real to yourself. Don't sell out yourself. Be authentic, and then be true. That's on this side of things. Make sure you've dot your I's and cross your T's. Make sure you got your PRS. Make sure, you have harmonious relationships with those producing for you, or those making music for you. You have some form of agreement. If you've got someone to come in to do your little backing vocals for you, or to do some harmonies, have an agreement. What are we doing here? Am I paying you for a day session and that's it? Or am I putting your name down on work and you will be paid off of royalties? Like, know what you're doing, Know exactly what you're doing. Have a copy of your masters. Have that, That'd be my advice. Where can people find me? Okay, so the easiest way is to go to my website www.msred.co.uk, which is Ms. Red. I just love a play on words, innit? It's Ms. Red. It's Miss Red. There's all my links there to all my social networks, to my Instagram, to my Twitter, to my Facebook, to my Tumblr, to my YouTube, to my SoundCloud. It has all the links on there. So yeah, we can get connected. Sometimes I say a whole heap, sometimes I don't say too much, sometimes we just put it up in pictures more than anything, but you know, we communicate. Hey, I'm feeling like we have enough things for say. There is plenty to do. I believe, no, forget that. Belief is just something you keep telling yourself. I know that the purpose of an artist, someone who speaks and bring forth words, is to document the time, the present time that we are living in. We are duty bound to do this. We tell it as it is. So 2017, there is so much things for us to do, so much things for us to say as artists. So I feel good. I feel like, you don't have to look for material just bam on your doorstep daily and nightly, so I feel pretty good as an artist in 2017 in that respect. Okay, so what I want to do at this present moment is I would like to make a couple of little video clips and stuff for my mixtape, which I released this year, called Amrita Wanamia. Yeah, I'd like to do some visuals for that. I have so many ideas that I want to do for that. Also, we should be getting a second release from me out of Ariwa this year. Nice dub EP, because I love my dub. And yeah, so you got that to look forward to, and some video stuff to look forward to. Other than that, we just have to watch this space.
They say it's for we betterment, but it come like a judgment.